welcome to the Melancholy Guy, a companion podcast to my Tumblr blog, The Melancholy Guy, daring to be black, open, and free. The adventures of a divorced, open, polyamorous, African American male. I am the the Melancholy Guy, Calvin, or CPJR if you know me. And definitely today, I believe that change I must or die I will. And welcome to the 13th mini episode of my podcast. Basically, this podcast is a companion to my Tumblr blog, which can be found at melancholyguy.tumblr.com. And I basically took the time to write about some of the adventures, the experiences, the emotions that I was going through while or when I started my conversion from non-monogamy to monogamy. So this is basically me going through that process, reading some of the blog postings, commenting on the blog postings, and then also talking about my life, where I'm at, and where I'm going. And then my vision of also building a podcast studio for the DMV area for others to learn about podcasting, to podcast, to basically be a resource to people who have stories to tell, have messages they want to get out. So basically, this is me learning how to podcast and eventually learning how to be a podcast producer. So, welcome. All right, so to the blog. So, if you've listened before, you know that I've been talking about the early days, the beginning days, the negotiations, the deals that were made between me and my ex-wife to jump into this thing, non-monogamy. So basically, I shared about how I've always felt sort of non-monogamous, kind of polyamorous, kind of not wanting to ever own a person, or although I was in committed relationships, didn't feel like I've never felt jealous. I never felt that I needed to know about everything you were doing, and I never felt that anybody had to know everything that I did either. And it felt kind of constraining to be in those relationships, and it would just always not work. Even my two marriages, of one was 9, one was 7, multiple years with these women. And although I only actually cheated once, I was committed, had other issues, but only cheated once in my first marriage, and luckily opened up the second marriage, so that was done. But then I've been talking about how for me it actually wasn't about the sex; it was about the emotional intimacy that was seeking out. And I think I wanted to move on because if you've been listening, I talked about the deal we made, or the deal that was silently made, sort of implicitly made, that we were going to do swinging. That was a ticket for us as a couple to get into non-monogamy. But first, I did try to date polyamorously. So when we first brought this up, when I first said that, you know what, I think I've been living a lie, or basically I've been trying to live a life that I'm not built for. I'm built for non-monogamy, and I first introduced the term polyamory, and I was going to sue polyamory myself with, I wouldn't say permission, but with the agreement that that was okay. So the first thing I did, which was my first mistake, I decided that I had to date other women or find other women to date. I thought that was my happiness. I had to go out, set up profiles, okay, Cupid, probably Plenty of Fish, anything that was free. Okay, Cupid's kind of open to open relationships. And I did, and I set them up because I was seeking. I wanted to find another relationship. I think that's what a lot of us do when we quote unquote convert or find our way into non-monogamy. We think it's all about finding relationships. Now, mind you, I told you before in the previous episodes, I already had a work wife. I already had the relationships with other women that were emotionally satisfying that I did not pursue. I did not pursue. I did not try to convert. I did not try to date these women or go down a path with them and let them know, even though I told them what was going on in my life, everything that was going on, all the agreements that I had with my wife, things like that. But I'm so conditioned, and I think a lot of us are like that, so conditioned to go out and seek other people in dating relationships. You understand what I'm saying? I want to date you. I need to have you in a condition of you're ready to date, I'm ready to date. Instead of exploring the relationships that are around us that may be better for us. I know probably wouldn't have been better for me, and I probably lost some friendships and opportunities because I wanted to date, and I did. I went on OkCupid, and I met a woman who, cause on my profile, I always put that I was polyamorous. I gotta watch my time, and I found someone who was also polyamorous, or she found me actually. This young lady out of um, Baltimore. She was Wiccan, pagan, something like that. She was a little lighter than me, Caucasian, and she was polyamorous, and she got intrigued by my profile, and I was polyamorous, and we started talking. We talked for a long time. We didn't have much in common other than being polyamorous. I'm not Wiccan. I'm actually non-religion. I'm spiritually agnostic, ex-Christian, not a Wiccan. Um, I'm not sure what she was looking. I think she was more curious, but decided to date. Now that's not a good thing for me. I don't like dating, but I tried it because I'm polyamorous, right? And that's my label. I gotta find somebody to date because I'm polyamorous. Obviously, I have a beautiful wife, and I can't be happy with her, so I must, or not just happy with her. Therefore, I must seek out other relationships. And I want to read a blog entry, and that's going to be it for today, um, that I wrote, and I'm going to introduce a new concept. I wrote this blog entry, I think, 5 years ago. No, I'm reading the screen. It was 6 years ago, and actually, it was about a time when I was with a fiance of mine. I was engaged one time before I got married to my last wife, and I was at a club, and I'll read it. Once upon a time, I was in a club, the Zanzibar in D.C. Love that club. I was, it's gone now. I was in my current thing, my relationship. Um, it was her birthday party. We had reserved a spot. Uh, us, her coworkers and friends. I went to the bar to refill, and there was natural hair, pretty hair, and a look that called me. I saw a young lady, and we saw each other. I just wanted to talk to her, just rap, but my current called me back into reality. I missed that glimpse of reality, realness, and interesting. Because I changed some words in that because I thought it was not correct. But actually, what I was saying that I met this, I was in a club and I was with my fiance at the time, Tanja, and we were having a good time. And I went to the bar and I saw this young lady there, and we just caught each other's eyes, and it was just like a spark just went off, and it was like we could have just stopped and just started talking, and And she was like, "Oh, you with them?" I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta go back over there." And there's like, you can see her face just drop, and I'm like, "Jeez." I just wanted to talk to her, and I couldn't because I was in a monogamous relationship, and it would that couldn't happen. But it's interesting that I want to introduce the concept of NRE, or new relationship energy. That was something that plagued me for a long time. I think I'm just getting over it, but just constantly seeking NRE, or new relationship energy, and I'll talk about that more. I'm down past 5 minutes, and you know that my time is running out. I got a job. I start working. Money's gonna start being plowed into the studio and this podcast. So I'm gonna do, I think, 30 minute episodes, maybe once a week, guaranteed, maybe twice, but definitely 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So I can expand on some concepts because I'm getting more into concepts about NRE. I'm gonna talk about that more, but I was chasing NRE for a long time, just that feeling, and I don't need to explain what that is, but it's like a shot of dope, man. You basically just all these chemicals exploding in your head and your mind, and you're energetic, and you want that feeling if you know what I'm talking about. I'll come back with some more specifics on it next time, but yeah, I got a job. I started today. So just got off. Like I got home about an hour ago, and set up to do this podcast because I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do this thing. So shout out to me. But so with work, it's gonna be interesting to see how I balance the workout, how I balance out work and this thing I'm doing and relationships. Cause basically, a nigga free. I'm single. And if you don't like that word, I apologize. But a nigga free. And I'm happy. And that's basically it. I'm not really free because this is my girlfriend, this podcast. This is my relationship that makes me happy. And building out this studio and talking about the issues. I will be getting into therapy, but I'll talk about that though because I think it's gonna be important for me going forward to keep working out issues that I have, and to keep me focused. Okay. So next time, whenever, I'm gonna talk more about NRE, what happened on that date, and what happened after that date. Because after that date, I didn't date again. I think we went into the whole swinging experience and how it just went right back to where it was, where I was chasing NRE in those relationships. Because swinging does not give you hits of NRE, it gives you hits of um, okay, so shout out to Spreaker. I house my podcast on Spreaker.com. The music is supplied by bensounds.com. And always remember to love and respect yourself, and everything else will take care of itself. Peace and namaste.